Array. So we have Emet Selch, Unsundered. This is the one that flips into Hades, right? Yes, Sorcerer of Eld. Vigilance. Whenever it attacks, draw a card, then discard a card at the beginning of your upkeep. If there are 14 or more cards in your graveyard, I get it. You may transform Emet Selch. And then it flips into the... Maybe play cards from your graveyard. If a card or token be put in your graveyard from anywhere, exile that instead. Let's read the blurb from Kobeni here. This deck started off as a bracket 2 draft chaff, hence some leftover jank deck that has slowly worked its way upward. It evolved into a mill out your opponent's deck. It sort of just turned into a bracket 3 deck after it realized how good Urza Lord High Artificer is and happened to have pulled it during Final Fantasy pre-release. So I just built it up from there. Also, it technically has a 2-card combo, but they're all high mana cost. I found a play group that likes to play powerful stuff and have been tinkering it from there. And I see more staples / powerful things. I'm relatively new to Magic and broke, so my knowledge of pool of cards is relatively shallow. Knowledge pool mentioned. Deck is proxy friendly, so no budget limit. I need a streamer permission to proxy a Rhystic Study because it's vile. I'm gonna even say that you don't need Rhystic Study in this deck. I'm simultaneously torn between making a bracket 3 and 4, whether this deck should be an opponent mill deck or just a Reanimator deck. It is played similar to a Reanimator deck, but I'm unfortunately fond of milling people out. Its themes are now self-mill, opponent mill, and Reanimator. Okay. I can help you out so much, it's unreal. Let's start. Darkness Crystal out. I am really not a fan of the Darkness Crystal in this deck. We are running the Water Crystal, I imagine, mostly not for the cost reduction, but for the mill amplification. It's both, TBH. Listen, I need to be honest with you. You had a very visceral reaction to me cutting the Darkness Crystal. So let me lay it down for you. The Grave Hating's nice. I have to admit, the Grave Hating's nice. But let us analyze how many cards it doesn't reduce. 38. All right, that's just a freebie. Let's not count these. The Darkness Crystal does not reduce any of your artifacts. It doesn't reduce Entomb, even though it's black, or Drown in the Loch, or Glimpse. Right, so that's a lot of cards there. So it's 5 enchantments, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So it doesn't ramp a third of your deck, not including lands, or 75% of your deck, including lands. Whereas the Water Crystal, yeah, it has the same sort of issue where it even ramps less, but the milling 1 or more cards, they mill 4 more, is just a ridiculous combo with Mesmeric Orb. What bracket are they in? We're kind of teetering on 3 and 4. Let's get this to a 4, I would say. So no, we're not going to rip Thoracle. So bracket 4 is not CEDH, where we're like trying to find the most like efficient combo line. What we're trying to do is, yes, trying to beat the most efficient combo lines, but we're trying to have some amount of cute flair going on, I feel, at the core of it all. I'm really not a fan of Urborg Coffers in this deck. I just don't think you need that large amount of mana. And I think it's kind of betraying your mill out theme, especially since you have... I thought I saw Exsanguinate, but I guess I was just seeing Nuclear Fallout. Okay, I think we have too many rats. I think that's one of our problems here. I like the Traumatize. I think we would be happier with a Muddle. Actually, no. Traumatize is really good. Because you can just traumatize yourself. Elk, stop this MTG nonsense. Hop on Deadlock, dude. I really want to. Vote Apollo, by the way, chat. If you're not voting Apollo, you're evil. All right, so. There's Urza. There's Sir Conrad. Excruciator. Okay, so we can keep Urborg to make Excruciator work. Apollo. Yeah, vote Apollo, Deadlock. Like the Teresian Mindbreaker. We have Bruvac. Elk, who's your favorite character in Deadlock? Dude, I'm a Graves player. Dude, I love Graves, man. I like playing Necromancer Summoner characters. I'm sorry. That's so wrong. Exile each opponent's graveyard. When you do, choose up to one target creature card exiled this way. Create a token that's a copy of that card except as an artifact and it loses all the card types. Okay, I like this like reanimation angle. I think that is a correct way to be doing this. I think ramp is kind of not good because you have a 3-mana commander. So I don't think we should be ramping on 2. We can keep Arcane Signet. But we do need, I'm going to cut Elixir as well. But we do need, Felden's Cane is also just not the best. Okay, so we've freed up a bit of slots here. My first course of action is to give you more lands. I've milled myself out before, so it's a nice safety but fair. I'm curious how you milled yourself out before. The best Deadlock character is Rem. Sorry, you need to be investigated. So I'm going to start with Jeweled Amulet. Just being able to go 0 mana thing, tap it for 1 mana, next turn play Emet Selch is pretty decent. Lets you bank mana over time. Like, it's not the best. Angel of Suffering and someone Sir Conraded me. So you could run like a mill Eldrazi, like a reshuffle Eldrazi. I think that's a little bad though with all your other mill stuff. Victor is fun. Trying to think of how to break the Angel of Suffering then. Because I don't like Felden's Cane. It's still in closed beta. So breaking Angel of Suffering. Like Blightsteel would work, right? Gives you 1 more turn. Like, I need to emphasize this. You are any given Eldrazi. No wrong, it reshuffles your entire graveyard. Nexus of Fate. That's way better. Thank you, chatter. Shuffle Eldrazi does not work. It reshuffles your entire graveyard. That's an awful, awful plan in the self-mill deck that wants to put cards in its graveyard. Awful idea. No way. Nexus of Fate, however, different story. Take an extra turn after this one. If it would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, reveal Nexus of Fate, put it on top of its owner's library instead. This also enables you to combo out by getting beaten to death with an Angel of Suffering out. You mill your entire library, including the Nexus of Fate. And then the Nexus of Fate goes on top of your library. And then you draw it for turn. And then you cast it. And then you have infinite turns. If Nexus of Fate, you can have the Isochron Scepter with Mystical Tutor. No, I don't like that idea. I'm not a big fan of Quag Feast. Like, let's just take out of the cards I just don't consider bracket 4. Dark Confidant, sure. Off-Nad Goat, it's funny. Ancient One. We have some expensive stuff. This could work. It also just lets you hold up interaction, be a slower deck. Reality chip, sure. Let's do Douthie. I think any self-respecting mill deck would have a Douthie Void Walker kicking around. So Douthie Void Walker in. This still is on the mill theme. And the idea is that you just mill your opponent's entire libraries and then you exile like an extra turn spell and you go, oh, great. I'll do that. The Rise of Sozin. Royal creatures. Once again, just too many wraths. Virtue Persistence. It's too slow. What I like about like these is they're reanimatable. I'm going to say Yasholta is also just like kind of too slow. Mill 3 cards. And then you reanimate stuff. Hear me out. Let's stick to cheap reanimates. Like Animate Dead is already in. You have Entomb. Let's put Valgavoth in. Valgavoth is like just a giant Douthie Voidwalker, and we've already established that Douthie's very good. Yasholta is just there to mostly flicker my commander so I don't exile my own stuff. That's beautiful. However, I think it's 6 mana to get permission to do that is game losingly slow. In bracket like 3 to 4, which is where you're kind of sitting. Anyway, Valgavoth though. I'm gonna cut Glacial Chasm. You already have Angel Suffering. All right. More reanimates. Let's do Necromancy. Also, Muddle the Mixture is a reanimate for 5 mana. Because you can go 3 blue, get Necromancy, and then 1 in a black. Cast or rather, Animate Dead. Next up, let's add a Grim Servant. So what I like about Grim Servant in these kinds of decks is it's modal. You can get Reanimate. And you can get Entomb. Right, both of those are just such good use cases for these. So it's Phyrexian Delver or it's a Vile Entomber. Both of which are very good cards. Now, I'm a little worried about the Urza here. I kind of want to maximize it a little bit more. And I think the way we're going to be doing that is Tamiyo meets the Story Circle. So, 1 in a blue. Until your next turn, whenever a creature attacks your Planeswalker control, gets -2/-0 until end of turn. Discard any number of cards. Then investigate twice for each card discarded this way. And then shuffle up to 3 target cards from your graveyard into your library. So this allows you to make just like an absolutely absurd amount of clues. Is Grim Servant good in 2-3 color decks where devotion count gets too steep for good recursions? So we're in a 2-color deck, and automatically, I'm just assuming we only have 1 devotion to black. What does Grim Servant do? Reanimate, Entomb. What else do you need it to do? Soul Ring. Any land. What else do you need it to do? Not for this deck, just generally. How good are your 1-drops? Just generally. That's the question you need to be asking. Anyway, let's cut Myriad Landscape. I think it's a little too slow. Probably just add a swamp in its place. Yasholta more often than not was just flickering Urza. Okay, listen, I need to drill this into your head. If you are making a 6-mana play, unless it wins the game, you lose in bracket 4. Like, that is generally speaking how I feel. Like, 7 mana, like, I put Valgavoth into play will slow the game down enough. I'm calling Yasholta too slow. I did see Markiplier's movie. I saw Iron Lung. I was really high during it, but it was really funny. I enjoyed it enough. It wasn't perfect. But, I wasn't expecting it to be perfect. So we're going in into met expectations. I'm excited he's adapting House of Leaves. I'm happy that indie films are doing good. I maybe don't like Hostile Negotiations either. Especially, why are we running Hostile Negotiations if the Fact and Fiction's right there? What did Fact or Fiction do to you? Okay, we have River Churn. Told you Giraffe Chaff. Okay. Is Bogart Trawler good enough for bracket 4? Yes. And in fact, I'm going to put it in the stack. Let's also add Otawara and the other one. So Kenzen? No, that's the Crucible of Defiance. The Stupid Mire. Takanuma. Thank you, YouTube chat. Takanuma and Abandoned Mire. It mills 3 cards. Hooray. So we have 3 slots to play with. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 3 very strong cards. And then I'm going to add like a little sideboard of like cards that are like, you can run them, you don't have to. So I think let's start with Takeout Island for Gyre Reach. So we have a discard outlet from the mana base. And then we can run Tainted Indulgence. And really what I'm worried about for you at higher brackets is your interaction suite. You need a lot more counter magic, it feels like. So I think that's going to look something like Swan Song. Other counter spells that I'm trying to think desperately. Yeah, Sink into Stupor, which can not only bounce a spell on the stack, but also return a stacks piece to its owner's hand. Trick Serenade, it doesn't hit stuff as good. Offer You Can't Refuse, I'm a little wary of Offer You Can't Refuse at higher brackets. 2 treasures is actually a very significant cost. Fel the Profane might also be okay. Maybe. I think we can cut a swamp for it. Force of Negation, yeah. And then probably like Fierce. Like, if we're talking higher level brackets, like you probably just need a Fierce Guardianship. I hate to say it. Okay. So from here, let's Superior Spider-Man. No, I like it because you can reanimate Velgoth. That's fun. And also you cast it, so Doomsday Excruciator works well. Holy shit, that's so cool. You are a super genius. I just want to mention that. Rise of the Dark Realms, you are insane. Probably Epic Downfall. Okay, great. Let's play Dust. Drop. Swamp. Island. Tainted Indulgence. Keep in mind, chat, we discard Teresian Mindbreaker. That's how good discard outlets are, by the way. We added lands to the stack, by the way, chat. Yeah. I don't think that's the deck's fault. Once again, we're at 39 lands. Let's maybe add Lorien. Let's go to 42 lands. You can't see the air quotes. Is MDFC type land? Like, I think you are a very slow controlling deck, and that requires a lot of land drops to be good. Does Glasspool Mimic work with a reanimated Doomsday Excruciator? I mean, it doesn't matter what you answer, because I think the answer is actually Malakir Rebirth to protect Valgavoth when you reanimate it early. I think it's nowhere to run. The slowness is sort of why I had too many rads. Yeah, but like we have a cute amount of rads now. It's Singularity Rupture, Nuclear Fallout. Like that feels good, especially since Nuclear Fallout is tutorable off of the Muddle the Mixture, right? Which is Talisman. Thrain Dynamo could maybe also go. And then instead just run the Talisman of Dominance, rather. Okay. It's good to know that for Mimic in future. So draw. There's Command Tower. Right, Stormcloak. Thank you for gifting 5-tier subs. If you got a sub, make sure to thank Ryan Stormcloak. All right. Command Tower, black, Entomb. Let's just put Valgavoth in the graveyard. Like, yeah, we could draw Superior Spider-Man and then we wish we put the other one in instead. But I think I'm fine with just this. Type Swamp. Here's Ripples of Death. 3 combat main phase, 1, 2, 3. Do I want to pay 1 and 3 to get any of these? Yes, Soul Ring. Okay. Land. Soul Ring. Or land is being starting town. Next turn. Mill 3. Douthie Voidwalker. I do really want that card. So let's pay 1, put this in hand. Shipwreck Marsh. We have 1 floating still. Blue, black. Emet Selch. Black, black. Douthie Voidwalker. Next turn. 1, 2, 3. I don't necessarily think I want any of those. 10. Enters or attacks. Sorry, we should have done the loot. I'm a fool, but Elk plays so quickly. Moto Grinder reflexes. Yeah, that's 100% what it is. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Grim Servant. Reanimate. Reanimate. Target Valgavoth. Terror Eater. For 100 bits, right, Stormcloak? And thank you for 5 more gifted tier subs. Witch Puppy. Oh, sorry, this is a billion gifted tier subs. 10. Thank you so much. Okay, great. Attack with Emet Selch. Discard Teresian Mindbreaker. Draw a card. 1, 2, 3. And then we go Swamp. In your upkeep. No, that's not our upkeep. Bummer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you drop Angel Suffering. Like, this is your turn 6. Witch Puppy, thank you for gifting another tier 1 sub and leveling up the hype train to level 5. Holy scam train. So, I really don't know what you're supposed to do in this situation. You can't remove Valgavoth. You need to remove Angel of Suffering before you can even hurt me. Even when you remove Valgavoth, Douthie Voidwalker's here. Like, this is just fucking hell. Right? Like, this feels good. My only thing is maybe an Arcane Laboratory is in order. Just to, like, kind of stop Storm combo. Like, Graveyard Hate, of which you have plenty, already does stop Storm combo, like, pretty well. But, like, having a stacks piece like this kicking around is, like, pretty decent. It might be worth thinking about Arcane Lab. Also, as a combo deck, but you're in blue, you probably don't need Defense Grid. Maybe I want to move you on to Painter a little bit. Painter could be fun. Should we make this a Painter deck, chat? Painter? Oh my god. You're going to be in love. So, Painter Servant. Right, Stormcloak, thanks for the 100 bits. We have Shadowmoor, Painter Servant. When it comes into play, choose a color. All cards that aren't in play, spells, and permanents are the chosen color in addition to their other colors. So A, this is card type. But Grindstone. Put the top 2 cards of target player's library into that player's graveyard. If both cards share at least 1 color, repeat this process. So for 3 mana, when Painter's Servant is in play, Grindstone mills target opponent's entire library. Oh, I love that. Oh my goodness, Riot Stormcloak trying to one-up Witch Puppy here with another gifted 10 subs. So anyway, Muddle can grab Painter's Servant, which is what has me really excited here, and then you can just like free ball an Urza Saga in the mana base to tutor up the Grindstone. Oh my goodness, guys. Witch Puppy with another 5 gifted subs. So, I'm probably going to take out Fendaniel. As funny as he is. I think he is just too expensive. Xenos is too funny to cut, I think. It's just the sad truth of the matter. I think Emet Selch is not going to get a lot of use, even though like he is like somewhat synergistic with Hades. We're not storming off. There's a lot of colored pips going on here. Is Scryfall down? I don't believe so. Hopefully not. Not Fandaniel. I'm sorry. It's just we need to make room for Painter, and also we need to make room for Helm of Obedience. Oops, Scryfall is not responding. So here's the fix. Gatherer.wizards.com. So Helm of Obedience. X tap target opponent mills a card. Then repeats this process until a creature card or X cards have been put into a graveyard this way, whichever comes first. If one or more creature cards were put into a graveyard this way, sacrifice this artifact and put one of them onto the battlefield under control. X can't be 0. What this does when you have Douthie Voidwalker or Valgavoth in play is target player exiles their entire library for 1 mana after playing the 4 mana artifact. Yes, this decks someone. This is a legacy power level combo. So, Scryfall's not working, but here's what we're going to do. Bulk edit. Main deck. I think this works. I think you can put it into here. 1 Helm of Obedience. And it should be right here. Okay, great. Chat, the stream continues despite Scryfall sucking horrifically. Probably just cut gifts ungiven, although it is really good. No, we need to run gifts. Okay, Scryfall's back anyway, lol. Probably Arden out. Fuck. I hate cutting all the Final Fantasy cards because they're so on theme, but Valgavoth is just so much better. Cut the goat, it's fine. The goat's so fun. Come on, the goat's so fun. Okay, we can put Arden back in. Let's play test. Card. Draw. Swamp. Jeweled Amulet. We've charged up. Starting town. 1, 2, 3. This is turn 2, Emet Selch. The other ramp you were running would not have done this. Okay, we draw a card. Oh my goodness gracious. Riot Stormcloak joining everyone else with 25 gifted subs. Oh my god. Increasing the scam train to what level? Level 8. Oh my lord. I think this is the most subs in one stream. I think this has been 1 billion subs. 1 billion subs, I think. Anyway, Emet Selch, we drew a card. Let's discard a card. Probably Breach. Next turn. There's Teresian Mindbreaker, which is very good. We do control Swamp. So then we draw and discard. He has Vigilance. That's broken. Draw and discard Teresian Mindbreaker. We can now unearth that at will. I think we just pass and hold up Oppo Agent. So you can charge up the Jeweled Amulet and then... no, you don't have to charge up the Jeweled Amulet. Let's just drop the Oppo. Next turn. Two more basic lands. We don't. That's fine. Charge up Jeweled Amulet. Maybe remove something. Submerged Boneyard. Yeah, I think we need to be cutting these. Let's do that next. So we have a charged up Jeweled Amulet here. I think let's just draw 3 cards, right? Swing with Emet Selch, draw a card, and then discard a Ymir Aqueduct. Thank you, Witch Puppy, for gifting Wraith, the Master Dodger, a tier 1 sub. Right, Stormcloak. Thank you, gifting a tier 1 sub to Memetic. Alright, so this is the turn where we hopefully start doing a lot of shit. And the answer is sadly, like, I don't think we can. We're a little in prison here. I think Consuming Aberration has to go. And maybe a tap land. All right, let's just go through really quick. Choked Estuary, not a fan. Not a fan of Signet lands. They're pretty awkward to use. Merge Boneyard. Sunken Hollow. Temple. We do need Undercity Sewer. Yes. Sewer. We'll get it. 1 Undercity Sewer. That's not how you spell Undercity. 1. Is Watery Grave already in? Watery Grave's already in. Let's do the Painland Underground River. Error on line 12. Cannot find the card Undercity Sewer. Am I stupid? What's the name of the Dimir Surveil land? Undercity Sewers! These bitches are plural. Why are you doing his bulk edit? Scry falls down. I can't search. Let's maybe then add a command tower has to already be in. Well, we can just do I'd even prefer Exotic Orchard over a tap land, I think. Exotic Orchard. Isn't there a site for all the duels? Yes, but my issue isn't knowing all the duels names. My issue is not knowing what duels are currently in the deck already. Polluted Delta's already in. That I know for sure. So ideally we had 2 more lands here. Is MDFC type land? We're back. Okay. So maybe let's add the Glasspool Mimic. It is a tap land, but it has that funny utility. And then Seagate Resto. Seagate Resto is way too slow. Let's be real. Waterlogged Teachings. What does that grab? Entomb, Swan Song, free magic, like free counter magic, Nexus of Fate. That is pretty decent. I don't know if we need that though. ID equals 2 type land sort USD. Trifle's not responding. Fuck you. Oh, bummer. 1. Advanced search. Oh, this doesn't filter for identity. This sucks. Dude, they need to make Gatherer usable. Mystic Sanctuary is a card? Yeah, it is, and it's really bad for this deck, so I'm not going to add it. Chat, what's one more blue-black land we can add to this deck? Or do we just... Let's keep it simple, stupid. Island. Alright, let's play test this one last time. Draw. Swamp. Jeweled. We lose. I thought this had an MDFC. Restart. Okay, this is keepable. Probably put Jador on the bottom. Drop. Island. Next turn. Swamp. Ancient one. Emet Selch. I do think Imprison the Moon's too slow. Let's cut that. Draw. Ooh, we discard Imprisoned. Next turn. Play this flipped. Pass. Gift Ungiven for Valgavoth. Arden the Usurper. Reanimate. Animate Dead. No, this wouldn't work because you can't get those from the graveyard. You could just double Entomb here. All right, chat. Which one's going to my graveyard? What 2 cards go into my graveyard, chat, for my Gifts Ungiven? Or actually, even better. Wait. This is because we specifically have Superior Spider-Man. What 2 cards go into my graveyard, chat? Okay, let's... Wait, you can do that? Oh, Nexus of Fate is still in our deck! We win! Oh my god, clip it! We have a discard outlet right here! Draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Oh wait, no, we need to get rid of our Doomsday Excruciator. Which we can do with Drown in the Lock. Okay, we're fine. Because we did have a lot of cards in the graveyard even before we milled. Yeah, activating Ancient One each time would kill someone. Where did this mana come from? From our lands. If you tap them, you get mana. We didn't cast Nexus of Fate. We discarded it to the Ancient One. Okay, hang on. This is a Psychic Frog deck, by the way. Yeah, we reanimated off of Superior Spider-Man, and since we cast it, it enters. Anyway, yeah, let's get Psychic Frog in here. It's just a nice discard outlet. And then also, of course, Card Advantage Engine. Oh, it might be the Tale of Tameo. Nah, it's Consuming. Consuming's way too slow. I also talked a little shit about Imprisoned in the Moon. Let's cut that. I'm going to argue that Demonic, whatever the fuck, is very good in this deck. Consultation. Not Consultation. Demonic Council. You can tutor a demon. I have great news. Doomsday Excruciator, Valgavoth, demons. And Delirium, which you're going to hit your self-mill deck with a bunch of different card types. You can just Demonic Tutor. Now, if you want to get like this down to bracket 3, good luck. But you'd probably cut Oppo, Notion Thief, Painters, Grindstone, Helm. Add more milling, synergy, or reanimation type effects. Like a Rise of the Dark Realms would probably be more at home at bracket 3. And then you can kind of have like a sideboard pivot plan like that. Where this deck becomes a lot more mill than reanimate in bracket 3, and then you can pivot it into this bracket 4 more combo stuff. And you can keep more of the Final Fantasy stuff in bracket 3 too. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for getting a deck review, Witch Puppy. Very solid, fun deck here. I really liked how Emet Selch played, just even as a looter. And then, like, you know, just having like a nice reanimator mill hybrid combo plan with Valgavoth and Douthie and all this. Not Witch Puppy, sorry. Witch Puppy, you donated so many subs this round. This is now your deck review. Like, literally, I just, like, subbed in your name here because I've just been saying it so much. Oh, Benny, thank you so much for getting a deck review.